tabernacles to the trends. See a lead be the band.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Corner to Copa. I'm here with a post-game recap of the opening day for the Tigers versus LA Dodgers. That game was played in, I don't know if it's still called Chavez Ravine, but it was played in LA, and we had two lefty aces going head to head, and the Dodgers end up prevailing in that game 5-4. Early on, we had a nice little pitchers duel going on. Skubal, to be honest, didn't have his best stuff. He only had 2 strikeouts on the night. He went 5 innings, 6 hits, had 4 earned runs, and like I said, two Ks, and home runs ended up burning him. Honestly, he was a pitch away from getting out of the jam that he was in and having a pretty nice outing, but ultimately it would end with him giving up a home run to Teoscar Hernandez, which I believe was a 3-run home run. And overall, that would prove to be a major factor in the game. Brendan Hanafy would later on give up a home run to Ohtani. But, close game overall. Blake Snell only gave up 1 run, and it ended up being on a pass ball that where Torkelson scored, I believe. But he had a pretty solid outing. But, yeah, ultimately it was the home runs that hurt us. The Tigers only hit 1 themselves. The key players in this game, as far on the Tiger side of things, was Spencer Torkelson, who had 4 walks, I believe, on the night. Yes, Spencer Torkelson had 4 walks, and he ultimately went 1 for 1, which was a bomb of a home run. He hit about 420 feet. But Spencer Torkelson is, I've been hammering a big turnaround for Torkelson all spring. He's obviously changed his approach. He was striking out a ton last year, and he's totally flipped that around. And he's now walked 4 times, and he was a big part of the offense today. Him and Manuel Margot. The first 2 times they came up to the plate, Torkelson got a walk, and Margot, the first time he was able to hit Torque over to third base, and then the second time he hit a ball to the opposite field that nearly hit Torque. So Torque stopped at second base, but it was a lot of the bottom of the order that was contributing. McKinstry had a triple. Kreidler had a hit as well. But Margot Kreidler had an amazing catch out in center field, and Margot had a couple of nice hits. So we scrutinize the decision making of sending down Malloy and keeping a Kreidler up, as well as going out and signing a Margot, which would eventually take the spot of Malloy. But it's already paying dividends. We'll see how that continues to progress. But a nice catch by Kreidler. He goes 1 for 2 on the night. Not a bad effort from him overall. AJ Hinch, in typical fashion, utilized the entire bench outside of Dylan Dingler. But overall, we knew that runs were going to be tough to come by, and that reared its ugly head today. They put up a stat. We went 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position, but we did manage to get 2 sac flies, one from Kerry Carpenter on a sharp hit fly ball against a lefty. The lefties actually played very well against lefties today. McKinstry had a triple against Tanner Scott, who's obviously a lefty. He once again shows why he will continue to be on a starter, or well, not a starter, but to be on the major league roster. But Riley Green went 1 for 5 with 3 Ks, so she definitely struggled against Snell. I think one of those strikeouts, it might have came against, it did come against Tanner Scott. One thing I do want to say is the umps were very suspect, and that ultimately, maybe I just wasn't paying attention as much, but it seemed like it affected the Tigers more than anything. We were taking a lot of borderline pitches, and they were being called strikes. And, there was definitely some screwed up faces at the end of that. But yeah, we knew it was good. The runs were going to come at a premium, and we were going to have to lean on our pitching. Ultimately, the pitching let us down a little bit today. We only gave up 5 runs. As strong as the Dodgers hitting is, we only gave up 5 runs, most by way of home run. Teoscar Hernandez, Edman hit a solo home run, and Ohtani hit a solo home run. So that was it. Yeah, because the Teoscar's was a 3-run home run, and then Edman and Ohtani were solo home runs. So that was the only runs that we gave up the entire game. Brebbia, I want to say, had a couple of strikeouts. Let's see. Yeah, but Brebbia had 2 strikeouts. Hannafy gave up the 1 home run to Ohtani, and Brisky pitched a flawless 9th inning. So not a bad outing, not a bad job by the pitching staff. Like I said, the home run from Hernandez against Skubal did hurt us. He's, I think he's going to slowly get into a groove and work his way up, but the velocity was definitely there. But he definitely got hit hard a couple times. Mookie Betts had one that I think that if he was in tip-top physical shape, he might have been able to hit out, but he was only able to muscle out it, was only able to muster up a line drive to the left fielder. But yeah, we'll see better days from Skubal, and we'll see what Flaherty has, what he brings to the table in his first game back against his former team that got him to the World Series. But yeah, as far in closing, the things that I was very pleased with, Kryler's defense for sure. He got a hit today, so he was able to do what he needed to do defensively as well. Spencer Torkelson had an amazing game. I hope that we continue to see more of that. Torres went 2 for 5. He played well. Obviously, the rest of the series is going to be against righty pitchers, so that's gonna bring more of an advantage for Riley Green. Carpenter will for certain be playing, and we'll just have to see what the lineup looks like. I assume that we will see Manuel Margot playing in the lineup tomorrow after a good game today. We'll see Cole Keith probably back up higher in the order. They do not platoon with him, even though he was going against a lefty, because he usually fares pretty well against lefties, but he went 0 for 5 today. And we'll probably see Sweeney tomorrow. And we'll see if we see Javi Baez tomorrow. He didn't show us much. He had a couple ground balls to the right side of the plate. I think that he was able to move the runner. I think he was able to move runners over when he did get that ground ball, but ultimately he didn't bring much value with the bat. So I assume that we'll probably see Sweeney tomorrow against Yamamoto, and possibly McKinstry had a triple today, and I think he ended up scoring a run. And that was against a lefty. I know the triple was against a lefty for sure. So, yep, the Tigers lose today 5-4 to the LA Dodgers, and we'll see how things go tomorrow. But there's definitely some encouraging things that I saw from the game. Mostly Margot and Torkelson, but you're gonna see, more than likely, you're gonna see a whole lot of the bench throughout this year. So if you are physically able and available, you're gonna get an opportunity to play defense or swing the bat. So we will we will stay tuned to that. Subscribe to Corner to Copa on Corner to Copa on all audio aggregators, and Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube. And stay tuned. We might have a live in studio recording for you guys at some point this weekend. So be on the lookout for that as well. It's your boy Foster. Shout him out.